up, guys? I appreciate y'all tuning in with me today. Of course, this is Ed One Miles, and y'all locked in with me on my debut of Champ Chatting. And today I got a very special guest in the building. Very bright kid with a bright future ahead of him. People really watching him, wanting to see him do great in the sport of boxing. So for y'all who don't know, without further ado, go ahead, my brother, introduce yourself.
I'm Floyd Schofield. I fought out of Austin, Texas. I'm 18 years old, and I love boxing.
Got you. And so, yeah, y'all heard the man. Very bright kid with a bright future. And in order to have a bright future, you have to have a busy present to manifest that bright future. Can you explain to them how busy a passionate and dedicated boxer can be when they're chasing greatness in the sport of boxing?
Very busy, It takes a lot of work and dedication. I just had my pro debut. Right after that, I went to Las Vegas, got some work with Devin Haney,
So you were able to go to Las Vegas and get some work in with WBC lightweight champ Devin Haney. How did that go?
I'm not gonna say too much, but it was good work.
You got some good work in?
Yeah.
And that's what matters, man. As long as you are sharpening them knives so you can put in some good work. That's what I'm talking about. So your pro debut, I understand that was supposed to happen in April of this year.
Yeah.
Here we are 6 months later, and it's finally happening. Was the pandemic the reason for that delay?
Yeah, it was. It had a lot of setback on my debut, but we here now. So
did the delay give Kid Team Austin, more time to prepare for this fight?
not really, because I've been in training camp since I was 8 years old. Non-stop training, no breaks.
Got you. Yeah, and the reason I asked, because you put on a heck of a performance. Your debut was outstanding. Now,
Thank you.
obviously, when you go pro, you want to win your first fight. You did that.
Yeah.
But if you want your name to resonate when it's mentioned, you want to win in an exciting and dominating fashion. You did that as well. Tell us how it feels to get your career off to a great start.
Oh, it feels good. I've been waiting for this my whole life. And it's finally here, so I get to showcase my skills to everybody and let everybody know I'm here.
Got you. So what, we're in store for a lot more of these kind of performances?
Of course. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So what I was able to notice up front, you possess a lot of attributes. What are some attributes you pride yourself most on in a boxing ring?
Everything. My IQ, my feet, my power, my speed, my abilities to adjust. Everything I could do in the ring.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I can attest that you have absolutely all those attributes, and so yeah, it's gonna take you a long way. Now, before I begin to move forward along in your career, let's backtrack a little bit for the viewers. Explain to them how Kid Austin and boxing met, and kind of talk us up as far as you remember up until now with you in the sport of boxing.
As far as I remember my dad used to have me in the living room like 5 hours just working on my foot movement, no punches, and
5 hours? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So that's as far as I remember, and I didn't complain. So
About how old were you around this time?
5. I was
5.
thinking about 5.
Wow. So basically, you've been knowing boxing as long as you've been knowing you've been here.
Yeah, pretty much.
So boxing is life, literally, when it comes to you.
Yeah.
Wow, that says a lot. And you mentioned your father. How important of a role does he play in your life in the boxing and outside the boxing ring?
A lot, because he might, get on my nerves. That's dad's, but he just wants the best for me, and then and push me to be the best and make my future better. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I could tell some good parenting has rubbed off on you. When I first met you, I couldn't help but notice how nice of a kid you were, very well-mannered and a likable kid.
Thank you.
But when I watch your amateur clips, you knocking dudes out the ring. I mean, tell us how easy it is for you to shift gears mentally to go from nice kid to beast mode Kid Austin.
Well, it's not really hard. All you gotta really think about it is like that person is coming in to hurt you, and at the end of the day, it's not personal. You got a job to do. Feed your family. And that person has to feed his family too. So you can't just be slacking.
Got you. Yeah, you got to separate business and emotion,
Yeah.
and you most definitely did that on your first fight. And I want to talk about that again. Again, first round KO. You actually landed the punch 1 second shy of the halfway mark of the first round. It was a step back, orthodox left hook. Caught him right on a button. I mean, tell us what was going on through your head. It was a short fight, but tell us what was going on in your head throughout the whole fight.
Throughout the whole fight, I was actually having a conversation with myself while I was fighting. It was like I was talking to myself like, "Wow, I'm really professional. Like I'm really having a conversation." And to be honest, I wasn't looking for the knockout. You know, my power is just like that. It just happened.
Wow.
So,
So while you were talking to yourself, I mean, at what point did you tell yourself, okay, this is gonna be a short night?
um, when I stepped in the ring, and then on top of that, when I felt his best punch, you know, I was not gonna lose that night.
Got you. Yeah, and I was able to tell as well. He was looking like a drowner, and you were a shark in deep water. So I can attest to that. I mean, I was able to see that you separated yourself as far as a level of skill and talent just by the way y'all were moving in the ring. You didn't even have to throw a punch for me to tell. But yeah, I can't emphasize how good of a performance you did. It was a clean punch, knocked him cold out. He fell to the point where he hit his back, and he even hit the back of his head. He was knocked out so cold. I mean, in situations like that, you kind of have to have some type of sympathy. I know boxing is a tough sport, but we don't want anybody seriously injured, do we?
While I'm fighting, yeah, you know, because it's a business where you gotta stay hungry, and you can't. That man coming in to kill you, so
So
at the end of the day, you can't leave it in his hands.
absolutely.
But afterwards, you know, I feel bad, you know, let him know that he did good.
Exactly. He was able to gather himself, make it to his
Yeah,
corner. So I mean, it was a clean boxing match. He made it
yeah,
out okay. So he'll be
yeah,
all right. Yeah. So I wanted to switch gears a little bit. Maybe about 3 months ago, there was a tragedy here in Austin where promising talent and Trayvell Majon was lost. He died in a fatal car accident.
yeah.
Can you tell us how you took that devastating news when you found out about it?
Well, it was a little hard because a week before, I had met him for the first time, and he, you know, he was giving me some motivational tips and, you know, some tricks in the ring that I could do, showing me different types of jabs. You know, we had good conversations, and to hear that he died a week later was tragic.
He's had such a promising
He
future.
did,
Yeah,
great
man.
fighter.
What did you think of him as a fighter, and maybe the heights his career could have gone had he been consistent with his performances?
He would have definitely been a champion. Definitely been a champion. He was hard. From what I've known or what I've heard, he was a hardworking man, and you know, all he wanted was to feed his family. So, you know, I respect that.
Absolutely, yeah. And on behalf of everybody part of this shoot today, we wanted to extend our most sincere condolences to his family, and his memory will forever live with us. Now, even yourself, you're still a young man, 18 years old, as you said. You're still developing physically, mentally, emotionally. What are some focus points in your development to see that you actually blossom into the champion your father, yourself, and other loved ones foresee you to be?
You know, I'm still, you know, developing mentally, you know, becoming a man and, you know, physically, to get my man body. And besides that, everything else I feel like is there.
Just falling in place?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And the reason I asked, obviously in the sport of boxing, it's a very lucrative business. People come in, they make a whole lot of money in this sport, but
Yeah.
by the time they leave the sport, they have nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
So it's important that you do develop mentally so you can make sound decisions financially, so whenever you decide to leave the sport of boxing, the sport of boxing wouldn't have left you. You'll still have fruits of your labor to work with. So enlighten us. Tell us when the next fight is, or the next fights are.
November 6th and November 28th. And November 6th in Houston and November 28th, I'm still waiting on the location.
Okay, so you got a busy November ahead of you. Sound
Yeah.
like you might even miss Thanksgiving. It's all right. We'll see how that play out. Hopefully you
Yeah.
can get some. But hey,
Some
I mean,
leftovers.
yeah,
Some leftovers.
exactly. But with November being so busy, I mean, is there a lot of preparing you got to do? I mean, they say you don't have to get ready when you stay ready. Is that a philosophy Team Kid Austin lives by?
Yeah, we stand by that. We train every day, so ain't that much preparation you could do, but you know, staying on weight, that's the only thing you worry about.
Okay, yeah. So y'all heard the man. He stay ready. So we got 2 big fights coming up in November. Y'all make sure y'all tuning in and keeping up with them. So this is all you, man. Go ahead, tell everybody, all the viewers and your new fans, how they can keep up with you on social media. I mean, drop your Twitter, your Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all that.
My Instagram is kid_Austin1. On Facebook, Floyd Schofield III. So, yeah.
So we in the works with the Twitter. I'll make sure I have that updated. But yeah, that is a wrap, man. I appreciate you again for taking
Appreciate
time
you.
out your busy schedule to come and talk to me. Nice to meet you, Mr. Schofield.
You too.
Yes, sir. That's a wrap.